clouds red with twisted fire, lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything, like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil, like a fire vortex.
Welcome on in, everybody, for a little Friday night SGL action for you. My name is Debit. I'm here in the booth with y'all tonight with producer Mr. K Doughboy, who may or may not be joining the mic. Let's see if he interrupts right now.
Good evening.
Nope. Oh, he is here. Beautiful. Well, how you doing, sir? Good to see you on the producer side. Get to join the booth for a little bit, have some fun with us tonight between Axe and Rose and EM Big Dogs.
Yeah, looking forward to a good SGL championship matchup tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, in terms of how we're looking for this isn't too impactful of a series overall. It's more for how these teams will finish out their season. Trying to stay on top of things, go ahead of each other. As you take a brief look at the standings over here, EM Big Dogs pretty much has it locked up. They just need to, keep playing their game, keep working as a squad, keep developing together. I know they got a little bit of rotation tonight, as well as Axe and Rose SC. And real briefly, they do have a chance to overtake Los Verdes, even with 8 games played so far. So there are implications there of who gets to be in fifth place, who gets to take that spot, because I know they're both going to be fighting for, who's not going to be the lesser of the Austin or Dallas teams over here. So lots of stakes on the line here. And if we can look briefly at the big dogs, I believe, or at least, yeah, going the stats between these two teams. There's a lot going against Axe and Rose this season, but that's just kind of what happens whenever you start in the league. You get used to a lot of things. Getting more shots on goal, shot percentage, not too bad. Honestly, just a team that looks like they're trying to, keep finding their form here in SGL. Ian Big Dogs, this is a good opportunity to do that here tonight.
Yeah, these are both first season teams. First season for both these teams. Axon Road's been a little bit of a rough go. Do have a few game wins at least over the course of the season. They've got a couple more to try and salvage getting a win before we finish up, but. Ian Big Dogs have looked like they're the stronger of the two teams so far, but anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in, these late game or late season shenanigans. Yesterday interrupted by a series of the season here for the championship, trying to decide what was going on between there, but now it's time to see who's gonna have the best results of their season, trying to round this one out. As we're gonna take a brief look at stats for both of these teams. Uh Wondering which one we're gonna end up seeing here first. It is gonna be Axe and Rose, who we are going to see, a lot of the same three that we've seen the entire season. There is going to be, I believe, one substitution between their squad here, but this three has been the primary three. A lot of consistency between them. A couple players do like to take the physical side, but for the most part, really just looks like a team trying to find their form.
Yeah, they have said that Cubadubs will be in tonight, so we'll get to see them. They haven't had a chance to showcase their skills much as of yet, but we'll see what they bring to the table. On the other side, of course, we've got EM Big Dogs with their rather large roster, but they do tend to
Good
play a
heavens.
set of four. And I suspect we'll see those four coming in pretty soon. Ponzi leading the way with a lot of goals on the season. He definitely has been one of the shining stars of the championship division. Teams are getting a little restless, so we've looked at their stats. Maybe it's time to go ahead and get them in the game. They are not as patient with there being production, so we'll just get them going.
Yeah, yeah, I know. They're very anxious. They really want to get going over here. They're ready to see what they got going on over here. Both teams are ready and lined up. Here we go. Let's get the show on the road. Time to give you this action here. If the game will do so, please. Even just want to, like before you had to flip back over to the game over there. Looking at the stats, the fact that Ponzi had the amount of shots as the next two highest players of shot totals, like combined, that was honestly insane to me looking at that. So, having 80 shots in the season, they're not going to have that tonight. So, somebody's got to step up and be the shot taker here for this EM Big Dog side.
Yeah. Big Dogs bring it down into the Axe and Rose end, but GD Delight bringing it in just a little bit of whiff. From what I've seen of Axe and Rose, Delight has been their standout player. Definitely gets forward rather well.
And Darkshade nearly providing the catalyst opportunity here for Axe and Rose. Can't quite get around on that one, but here comes Delight again. Starting off with a heavy touch, going in for the bump, the demo rotation. And really, they feel like they got the game plan down on lock. They want to attack these corners over here. For the Big Dogs, it's a lot of chaos, but the chaos is going to result in the goal here. Skyline getting the first.
Yeah, a little bit of whiff coming out of the corner. And yeah, Delight just missing it there. Skyline lined up really well, just pops it in for the first goal. Kickoff. I don't think either player really wanted to touch that, but we did get it out of mid just slightly. And mid is the name of the game right now. Both teams keeping it deep in, but now Big Dogs attacking well. And Gain right there, picking it up. Skyline with a nice little touch off the corner. A little bit of a group whiff, and Gain picking it up.
We call those tactical whiffs there from Mr. Playboy Farty himself. Arglass would not call that one tactical, but you know, sometimes it just ends up working out. And for Big Dogs having a 2-goal lead, really nice early start here for them. Gonna bode them well. Even get a little bit of a back pass. Oh, never mind. It's not quite that. There's a lot of chaos right now, but you know, maybe they'll get it back out to the midfield, because that's what Skyline's job is right now. And probably got to reset off top of that ball there, but you know, the attack will stay on. That's a good pop up. Pico David, any shot? Nope. Cleared out by Axe and Rose.
A couple of good chances there from EM, but Cubadub's bringing it up for, just as I say that, they were bringing it up here for Axe and Rose, but a little bit of a team meeting at midfield. Leaves the ball for EM. Slow
And
on the corner here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Axe and Rose is looking a bit tentative, you know, a little shell-shocked for those 2 early goals. But again, as I say that, Delight pops up, and we got a 2-1 game.
Man, they look like they've been antsy for this kind of opportunity. Darkshade was definitely willing to get up and get high for that one, but Delight has kind of been fiending around this field so far, getting the result they wanted, getting on the board here. That's the lead in half. Axe and Rose is definitely going to be looking forward to keep the press going, but they're caught out right now. That's a big boom from Skyline. Doesn't find the back of the net, only finds the post. And Axe and Rose do really well through Delight to get another one. Doesn't get a shot on target. Maybe there's a follow-up? It pops up high. Kubadubs is so low on boost. They got to get back and do something over here. But nothing to keep the attack going.
Yeah, decent chance there, but so far it looks like kind of a one-man show for Axe and Rose, and Big Dog's taking advantage of that again. Gains, or is that Playboy? These kids changing their names to go on streaming.
Alright, so Playboy 40 is Mr. Pico David.
Oh, okay.
Translate that one there.
I don't think I've seen Gains before, but they have a large roster that I don't remember all of their names. So, in any case, 3-1 to EM Big Dogs, who have looked pretty confident here. And again, Axe and Rose looking a little shell-shocked and leaning a little heavy on GD Delight.
Yeah, sometimes these teams are going to find that person that they rely on a lot to get the play going. They're going to want to keep things going. Skyline, maybe an opportunity, gets it off the wall, passes it to himself in the end, getting the 4th here for the Big Dogs. Yeah, this one's just tough again. Kubadub's not able to get up in time. No bump on the back. And Skyline gets this a 3-goal cushion now.
Yeah, really nice work there from Skyline. I'm sorry, that was that Playboy? That was Playboy. The problem again, we talked about this before we went on. The problem again is when you're directing, you don't get to see the director label for who you're looking at.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm talking more in team names than I am necessarily in player names until we get to see more evidence here. Speaking of, good out here from Axe and Rose, but Delight is removed. And you know I love to see the physical play coming out. Minute remaining. We've got a 4-1 game, and I don't know that there's a way back right now for Axe and Rose.
Yeah, I don't know. They had a lot of, good fight early on, and one almost goes in. You can definitely see it. They're, focusing on getting the ball to Delight and creating those opportunities for those rotations. But you're gonna want to see a player like Darkshade provide that comfort room for somebody like Kuba Dubs in order to, keep those opportunities going. Because like those chances like this, that's brilliant for Delight. Kuba Dubs pops it up. Darkshade, unfortunately, no finish, cleared out by EM. It's these opportunities. You need those playmakers to get out there. And unfortunately for Axe and Rose, that time is not going to come here in game one as EM Big Dogs get a fifth.
Yeah, Skyline takes advantage. You had Axe and Rose running the rebound drill down in the other end, but nobody could put it away. And now, 5-1, 20 seconds left. I'm not sure we're going to see much more to change the outcome of this one. Okay, decent little shot, but easy save coming out of the end.
Yeah, we just need the ball to drop now. It will for the Big Dogs, taking game one here by a scoreline of 5-1. Skyline being the catalyst here for the Big Dogs. Pico David, Mr. Playboy Farty himself, only scoring 86 points on them, but he still loved to be a part of the chaos. Definitely a part of those double commits that you saw down there.
Okay. Okay, so weren't sure if we were going to end up with a remake here, but teams seem to be okay. Apparently, Delight might be having some connection issues. But yeah, looking over the stats in Skyline, Skyline just carried hard there. 3 goals, 2 assists, putting up the work. Carrying Big Dogs. Not that they didn't have some help. 2 goals from Gaines. 3 assists total. And very tidy 5 goals on 8 shots from EM Big Dogs to seal game 1.
One stat that honestly I did not expect to see out of this one was seeing that Kuba Dubs actually had the most bumps out of the entire, matchup of the players within here. So maybe there could be an opportunity here to get some of those bump rotations in for the Dubs man himself. Oh my gosh. Nearly finds its way back in the net early here in game number 2. But yeah, maybe there's an opportunity for some of these rotations to go Axe and Rose's way. That's one solid way to start. You just gotta get a good 50 going your way, and all of a sudden your fortunes can change.
Yeah, definitely need to see more pressure out of Axe and Rose if they're gonna do anything here. And Delight finding a little bit of an overcommit out of Big Dogs. Finds the space and puts it home. Got a lead early here for Axe and Rose.
Yeah, that's what you absolutely want to see as an Axe and Rose player fan right now. Led and Pico David pop that one up to you. Delight just says, all right, thank you for that brilliant little pass over here. I will take that. You have left nobody back. Time to score. And now Axe and Rose, I wonder how you continue the pressure over here. I think that's one thing we've seen this team be able to get the lead before in some of these games, even against the top teams here in the championship. It's how they just manage to hold. That's going to be their next move over here.
Yeah, the rotations are going to be very important for this. Not just defensively. They were a little loose defensively, but that happens a lot at these kind of levels. But they need to go forward as a group. Getting a little lucky there. EM Big Dog's putting it just wide on a relatively open net. But Delight getting a good 50, keeping it to the corner. But the other thing I think I've seen is they need to get some better clears. Their clears are very soft through the middle. And they don't want a repeat of what happened in game 1. They're going to have to put those off to the side.
Yeah, they're gonna have to either take these 50s or maybe not try to, just shell it out every time. Oh, it may work out over here. Goes just off the crossbar. But you do bring up a good point. The fact that most of them are kind of just chilling around in net. That's how they're playing, like these back post rotations, and they keep cycling through the middle. It's gonna limit their opportunities to get the ball out cleanly enough. They're gonna end up relying on something maybe that's not as optimal to get out of their own zone over here. So that's gonna be something that we're gonna hope gets changed up here in the next either few minutes or even games as we progress along here in game number 2. For EM Big Dogs, they're driving the ball back down the field, but now there's just no results coming right now. It almost feels like nobody's getting even like the proper boost pickups right now.
Yeah, I think we've seen Axon Rose do a much better job keeping some possession in the Big Dogs' end, keeping them hemmed in, taking the boost from them. Now it's a little bit of a back and forth game at the moment. Not a lot of possession, a little bit of throwing from both teams, just wanting to clear it out. Darkshade, nice little move in the corner, but no chance to get it in front. Well read by Skyline there.
Yeah, for Axon Rose over here, Darkshade is one that I've kind of been looking at, see if they can already drive some more offense. You saw it early on here in this game, and now we're just waiting for the result to happen. Oh, but right now it's the Big Dogs that are going to end up getting that result through the side, around the corner, and through the back wall. Gaines doing really well to find Skyline here.
Yeah, really nice pass off the corner, and an unfortunate double commit there out of Axon Rose leads to the open net and a tie game.
Oh no, is this gonna work? Oh, it's gonna
what a
work out.
fantastic kickoff there from Skyline. Just tots it right into the goal. Just a really nice 50 on the kickoff. And this is Rocket League. 2 seconds, 2 goals. It's 2-1.
Just like that, it's back to the Big Dogs. It's kind of incredible how, the tables have turned so far. And Skyline's only continuing to keep the pressure going. Doesn't find it that time. From this Axon Rose side, maybe they can get a quick turn. Oh, it's a brilliant little carry over here. Can we get a follow-up? Cuba Dubs ends up finding the corner, and we're tied.
What a nice read on this. First Darkshade almost in the nice little kind of half flick. A good recovery, or a good read, I should say, by both of his teammates. And thankfully, one of them actually put it away.
Yeah, I was getting really concerned if we didn't have somebody to end up taking the final shot here for Axon Rose, because they've created a lot of good chances so far. You just need that person to sort of drive the net over here. They cause some havoc over in front. Oh, that's not what you want there. Cuba Dubs, ends up taking out Darkshade with that little backflip hit over here. Ends up giving a beautiful ball here to Skyline, who just slots that one home in between two.
Yeah, you hate to see that. It's always a little frustrating. I believe you know as well as I do when you've got solo queue teammates who decide they need to play the ball as they're running back towards your own goal and you're saving it. An unfortunate turn of events there. 2-2 with Big Dogs. Good clear out there by Delight on the corner. Yeah, the Big Dogs have been keeping up some pressure, but I think at least Axon Rose, they've responded to that pressure much better generally in this game than they did in game 1. That said, a nice shot into the zone. It's centered. Oh, just wide.
Dang, I mean, I will say, Pico David has had a lot more improvement compared from first game to last game, even finding an assist on this one, getting them back over that 100-point threshold average per game. But it's times like these where we need Pico David just to get a little bit more of the slot. Need to ignite that Leon Draisaitl, level energy just to slide home. Don't have to go full Ovechkin, but we just need the accuracy to go a little bit out for the Big Dogs over here. But Axon Rose will say thank you very much for keeping us in the game for right now with 13 seconds left. They're going to need to get a clear. Oh, it's open. Just need one more. And that's it.
Yeah, a little bit of a whiff there by Pico David. Delight also with the mutual whiff and gains on the really good follow-up. And it's not, well, no, it's 10 seconds left. It's 4-2. Yeah, this one is probably over, but a much better showing, I think, from Axe and Rose. Something to build on to go into Game 3 and try to avoid the sweep.
Yeah, if anything we've seen from Game 1 to Game 2, it's definitely been not letting the big dogs have much of a free reign out in the field as they used to. For Axe and Rose this time, maybe it's about, like, just kind of developing or adapting those attacks to be a little bit of a different style. I think EM kind of tracked down the line that they can stick to the back wall or stick to the side wall for how they're going to end up wanting to get this done. And also maybe trying to clean up a little bit of the forward pressure that they had from time to time. It really gave Axe and Rose those opportunities to just shoot the ball back downfield. And if there's nobody there for an open net, all of a sudden you just end up racing against the ball just to try to clear that one out. And yeah, for Axe and Rose, it's time to put up or shut up right now.
Yeah, definitely it is a series point here for EM Big Dogs. But again, looking at the stats, Axe and Rose definitely stepped up quite a bit. Shots were a bit more even, 8-5, and it was, I think it was 5-4 with a couple of minutes left. So they trailed off a bit at the end and let the AM Big Dogs into it. I'm not sure. Not sure what we're going to see out of Game 3. I hope we can see them bring it back and extend the series out a bit. But it's going to be, they're going to have to put in some work.
Yeah, the work is definitely going to have to, be grinded into here for this team. They're going to have to, pull off the reverse sweep. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen it here for the championship this season. Famously done by Black and Gold Old Timers early in the season against EC Defiance, but definitely one that would inspire the masses here for this Axe and Rose side. End up getting a double commit out of the big dogs. Maybe if they find a little bit of possession over here, they can end up getting it back downfield. Skyline does really well to interrupt. The light will end up passing at the Dark Shade. This is the kind of opportunity that we're looking for. Try to force El Matador, EM Big Dogs to, start jumping, get a little antsy about some things, and right there we already get a shot opportunity here from Axe and Rose.
Yeah, both teams with early centers in their own half, not exactly something you draw up on the chalkboard, but hasn't led to anything quite yet. But Delight, good pressure, almost getting a nice little counter goal. Got some good pressure in here from Axe and Rose. Here comes Delight, but no, couldn't get contact on it.
Man, Delight just acting like he's shot out of a cannon every single shift at this point. Give him an ounce of boost. Ends up trying to go for everything as far as the hardest shot or even just the demo over here. Really love to see this energy be brought out of Delight. I hope it's carrying over to the teammates right now, who seem to be responding well to it. Yane's looking to at least bring the opportunity back down here for the big dogs. Ends up having a double commit. The pinch doesn't go in. The ball's still theirs. Maybe something over here. Oh, there's a lot of confusion out in front. Thank goodness Delight is here to save the day.
Yeah, a little bit of a family portrait there in front of the Axe and Rose goal, but it did not go in, thankfully. And unfortunately, they couldn't sustain the pressure that they gained from the clear, having to go back in their end. But Delight, the nice little feed to Dark Shade, and just couldn't apply the finish. But it does with the hopeful pass, which almost came off, but a little bit risky in their own end. And leaving a boostless Dark Shade back, who handles it really well for having no boost. Delight is removed from the play. Love to see some demos coming out. We need more. We have not had nearly enough demos in this series. Wouldn't you say, Devitt?
Yeah, I would say there definitely hasn't been enough. I'd say this is somebody who is formerly the most demoed player in the league. Not this season, but yeah, after getting used to physical play, it becomes a lot more fun, You get to cause a little havoc, especially if you got like a boost that you got on that you just hear somebody coming, you're like, oh crap, gotta run, gotta get out of the way. You start moving your feet a little bit. That's what these teams need to get going right now. A couple little moments where it seems a bit slow. You just need to pick up the pace slightly, and things like demos can definitely put you back in favor, especially compared to a team that's trying to either get back on defense or even just to try to like stabilize themselves through it.
Yeah, both teams are kind of just spending some time in the midfield. Nobody really attacking as a team at the moment. And, they're just kind of popping it to each other. You can definitely see a little more aggression both on the physical side and on the ball. They say that. I think that was Delight getting a touchdown, but unfortunately off of the bar. Well kept in here by Axon Rose. Delight to the corner. Dark Side, unfortunately, cannot get the touch forward and going the other way.
Yeah, these opportunities are just getting closer and closer now. Both these sides are definitely a little bit off from what we're used to seeing here in games number 1 and 2. But, oh, that could be a bad giveaway. Oh, Dawgs does well. Passing it to his teammate over here. This Axon Rose side, they need to grab some boost. They're looking very starved right now. Looks like Darkshade finally found something over here. Thank goodness. Kubadub's able to at least get it out. Oh, wait. Not going in? Post? Shot back. Darkshade ends up finding the first here for Axon Rose.
Yeah, it took 4 minutes, but a little bit of a mistouch there out of Big Dogs. And Darkshade with a nice read pops it in. Got a late lead here for Axon Rose. Can they bring it to game 4?
Need to hold on just a bit more. They've definitely been playing a lot better. I'd say that as a whiff goes by. Unfortunate timing for that one, but the way that this game has been flowing so far, definitely favoring Axon Rose over here. It's a beautiful pass off the backboard. Can Darkshade get another? Ends up dunking. Maybe an opportunity. Oh, and right now, it's just leaving Delight back, which may bode well here for Axon Rose. But he does get beat. Skyline back in, ends up finding the tire with 26 left.
Yeah, Skyline ties it up. Really nice pass out by Gaines. A little bit of an overcommit there by Delight into the corner. And unfortunately, his teammates were not there to help cover. Tie game, 26 seconds left. And the kickoff getting knocked into the Big Dog's end. And a little unplanned teamwork there. Thankfully, they get away with it.
We're getting away with it for now. Let's see if it. Oh no!
Oh,
It does a 50 in the midfield. It goes like that. Skyline ends up finding another fortunate 50 off of Delight, just trying to pass this over to the right side. Ends up finding the back of the net. Pico David, no final touch in. And with the dying moments of game number 3, it looks like EM Big Dogs have just stolen this away from Axon Rose.
That is so unfortunate. Get Cabadog's back, but they tried to escape out for some boost at the wrong time. And we've got a 3-0 sweep here from EM Big Dogs over Axon Rose SC. Yeah, unfortunately, in the end, it was a much better game, obviously. Much better game out of Axon Rose. But it ended up being a one-sided series, 3-0, as we look at it on the board. The stats for this game definitely speak of it being a much closer effort. If you're choosing an MVP for the series, who are we looking at?
Man, I feel like, the paper stats are probably going to say this. There is a hidden one here, but I feel like I got to go with Skyline. I feel like they're just getting the results. They're getting that critical goals here for EM Big Dogs. Still holding well here for this squad. I can shout out another one, but I want to hear what you want to say about this one, or if you want to agree with that one.
Yeah, I think on the overall balance of the series, I think Skyline was probably the MVP, but Gaines was also right there for a lot of the play as well. But I think Skyline just pips it for me.
Very, very fair. Could definitely see that a shout out for Gaines over here. A lot of improvement here from this Axon Rose side. And it looks like we will be hearing from both sides here in this one. believe we'll be hearing from Axe and Rose first. We will be hearing from the Dark Shade over here from Axe and Rose. Let me just
Yeah, you. I believe you're going to
see
have
if
to
I
move
can.
in.
Yep. Hang on, I'm not as quick as other producers around here, but yep, we will be hearing from the Dark Shade here. Dark Shade, unfortunate series, but good to have you here in the booth. How you feeling after that one?
We're feeling pretty good. We had some tough moments. It's like a new lineup tonight. You know, we're just getting used to it. We've only gotten to play a few games. We got to play like an hour before, so that was really good. So we felt pretty good for how little we've gotten to play. But yeah, I mean, like right there at the end, it's just like a tough rotate where we're miscommunicating, that kind of thing. So those happen, and you know what? Good teams punish you, and that's how it went tonight.
Yeah, it kind of did feel that way a little bit, but like you like the improvement was palpable along the line as you kept going through this series over here. Especially watching you guys attack over there. It looked like you were getting a whole lot of 50s going your way. The chances were being put away, quite cleanly, if I might say so myself. But tell me just sort of like, with going through bringing a new teammate in, uh, I know you said like good teams will like punish that's sort of like those plays over here, but how did it feel like trying to like to rotate around everybody? Was it kind of like you try to keep everybody on the same page, do the nice rotations through, see if you can find a flow through there, or was there something specific that you had going on that you really wanted to try out, or
Yeah, it's kind of different because when we have Herder in there, Herder is really good, like combination play guy, and Kuba Dubs tonight is like really aggressive. So it's really good because I can lay off a bit, Delight can lay off a bit. And we can kind of let him take lead. So we're trying to get a lot of combinations in there, just a lot of hard crosses, fast plays because we were really feeling it when we were warming up of just like keeping that momentum and that pace. And I think at times tonight we just got a little ahead of ourselves and we just needed to slow it down. There were a couple moments where we might have had some tap ins if we didn't double commit or make the same run or just going too quick and just getting ahead of it. You know what I mean? Same with some of the saves tonight. There were opportunities where we were in good positions, just kind of got caught out or just kind of goofed it up a little bit. But yeah, I felt we played pretty well. I thought we rotated really well, but it's definitely a different dynamic. So it was kind of fun and we were just kind of feeling it.
Nice. So, this is your first season in SGL, and you've got one more game left in this first season. What's been the kind of the overall feel from the team about how the season's been going? Obviously, on the standings, in the results, it's been a little rough. But how's the team feeling about it?
We've actually felt pretty good. Like we've just like gotten punished every time we've made those mistakes. You know what I mean? In some games we've gotten away with it, but there's games that we've played really well and just couldn't capitalize. I mean, we had a match this season where we had two wins and we were pushed it to overtime for the third and we just didn't get it. And it was like from then on we couldn't turn it around. So a lot of it this season's been just getting used to like the mental rebounds. You got to be able to just shut it off and go, hey, you let one in, you got to turn it off and get back in the game. You can't make the same mistakes and reset. It's not like kind of like when you play like competitive, you get to re-queue and play someone else. You got to just commit and bear down. So I've really enjoyed it. I think the team's been having fun this season, even though we haven't been getting the results. We've been putting in work. We've been getting better and better every week. Some weeks we just get mixed up. Sometimes we don't get to play enough together. So I think what we're looking forward to is like we still have another match. There's still another opportunity for us to get a win. But we just want to keep progressing and getting better. And I think if we keep breaking things down by this one thing at a time, like, hey, let's focus on one thing tonight rather than trying to fix everything, right? Because when you're trying to fix everything, you're just going to trip over yourself. So it's getting used to that, getting used to playing together. And, I think we're going to really look forward to this off season because we're going to be able to build that chemistry more and more. And I think every game this season, even though the results haven't gone our way, for a lot of, even just stretches of those games, we've been competitive with these guys. So we know we can compete. We know we can stay in this. And I think the off season is going to be awesome because it's going to really give us time to build out our chemistry and build out kind of our routine and plays and things like that.
really eloquently put. Honestly, I feel like you almost like took over that like interview for yourself over there and like kind of like answered like where I was gonna go like for this off season over here, which honestly, I'll give the credit. You got me there. But no, I literally see it in you guys. It's literally just about like those final little calculations to do. It's definitely like a thing that every team has to go through whenever they come into a league like this because we make the comment a lot that this league, for some reason, just isn't like others. There's like this weird little hump that you have to like get over before, like slamming back some wins over here. Like some of these
Yep.
teams like have not experienced a lot, and then all of a sudden like they'll be like, oh shoot, like that's EC Defiance this year.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. It's funny because we keep getting compared to them this year. Like, hey, you're gonna when you get that win, it's gonna be like that weight off your shoulders. And like, I've played a lot of competitive sports. A lot of the guys on our team haven't, so it's been kind of like an adjustment for them. And a lot of the guys on our team play a lot of ones and twos. They don't play a lot of threes as well, so they're kind of learning this season as well. So I think that's kind of been a big thing is like learning that kind of chemistry and figuring that stuff out. But like, yeah, it's been fun. I think we'll figure it out, and I think we'll get it together. But yeah, the EC Defiance, we want to be the next EC Defiance because they're doing better this season, right? Like they're doing pretty good. So, we think we can be that team. We think we can compete with everybody. So we're just gonna go ahead and get better. And there's some mechanics that I need to pick up that I didn't know existed. I'm still learning stuff. I used to play a lot more competitive before this year, back way back when. So it's been kind of an adjustment. So we're just gonna get better, and we'll figure it out.
well, beautiful. Doughboy, anything else before we give him the floor?
I was just going to give him the floor. Any shout outs you'd like to do? Go for it.
Yeah, I want to shout out Kuba Dubs and Delight. We figured it out tonight. It was a lot of fun. Kuba hasn't gotten to play much this season, so I want to say shout out to him, and shout out to everybody that showed up in stream and watched tonight. Even though we didn't put up a long series, I hope you enjoyed some of the shots and moments. So, but yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Take care, dude.
Have a good one.
All right. Honestly, beautiful little mental that we get to see from this Axe and Rose side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've heard it all at this point. All the comparisons, all of the, yeah, it's gonna happen. Like the competition's there. It's just the thing just actually needs to fall. So just like patiently waiting for that one.
Yeah. Always tough coming into a league like this with its kind of open format. At least we've got the two divisions this season. But I'm sure they keep working at it. They're going to do fine, and I expect, of course, the main Timbers Army group is helping them out along the way. So looking forward to seeing good things from Max and Rose in the future.
Exactly. But we are going to be pushing us over to the winner's POV over here. Mr. Playboy Farty, we're going to hear from you. Congrats on the dub. Good to see you guys pull that one out. How you feeling after that one?
You know what? You know how, like, people have haters in life, And those haters motivate you to do better and better each time.
Go
And
on.
I just got to shout out to my haters. Thank you for motivating me to get those assists and get this dub today. Felt great. Felt really great to get the dub. Especially with a weaker lineup than usual. We only had 2 other players on today. So we had to kind of scramble to get the win today. But in all fairness, shout out to both of my teammates, Skyline and Gaines. They played really well, especially Skyline. Can't get enough of that man.
I wanted to ask you about like the lineup because I know you guys are probably having like some scheduling issues this whole time, trying to see like what you can end up pulling out over here. Tell me what it was like playing with Gaines and Skyline over there because it seemed like one definitely had the more of the like calculated approach. Like with
Yeah.
Gaines, they have a lot more ball touches, not as many bumps, but Skyline was like, I'm gonna get into the gritty areas.
Well, I'm not really like a Rocket League analyst to say, but yeah, I kind of noticed that Skyline just went more for like technical plays and passing and just try to get into the net as quick and more efficient as it can. And Skyline just tries to rip it, just tries to get in the net, full car and everything. But somehow it worked out, and it worked out pretty well because we just kind of just throwing each other over and over again, and eventually got the goals. Especially in game 2. I think game 2 was like the hardest because we just could not get on goal, but eventually we prevailed.
Yeah, so looking at the standings as we head into one more week in the championship, and this win puts you 2 points ahead of Los Verdes, your Texas rivals. But you've got a hard game coming up in week 10 against Steel Army. How are you feeling about the chance of staying ahead of Los Verdes at the end of the season?
We can beat Steel Army once, we can do it twice. We'll do it again. I hope.
That I hope is carrying so hard at the end of this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ahead of those Verdes. You know what? It feels great. They talk all this shit all season, and every single one of their players are training like 24/7 to play just to stay under, just to stay below us. It's kind of embarrassing there. Do better, guys, but come on. We gotta prevail next season. But so far, I've been liking how we've been playing. It's I don't know how to explain it, but it just works out. And especially without Ponzi, a really important piece today. I didn't think we would make it, but in the end, Skyline got us through the finish line.
Yeah, critical piece indeed. Uh, so I want to ask a little about the team dynamic, just to continue that trend over there. Was there like somebody leading the charge as far as like how comms were going? Was it more of just sort of like a back and forth affair? Like, give me like the VC vibe that we were missing out on.
Surprisingly, it was Gaines kind of just leading us, you know? Like, he always had the ball, it just kind of. He spoke the most, but I also tried to speak a little bit. Kept saying, like, oh, I don't got it, I have it, I whiffed it, and just telling them drop back, go up. But Gaines definitely took charge. I could kind of tell he was doing really good. And I hope he can play more next season because this guy's really good. And Skyline was just kind of there. He also did some comms. He also did some pretty important comms as well when we were, dropping back to defend a ball going loose. But yeah, overall the comms were just kind of just mostly calm. Nothing too crazy. Gaines just took charge.
Well, nice job tonight. Now's your time to take the floor. Any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, shout out to Arglass, my number one hater. Keep hating. You're gonna be worse than me forever. Shout out to Gaines and Skyline got us through the finish line. Shout out to First Bros. That's my producer tag. And shout out to all the people watching SGL right now. Y'all really got us. Y'all keep this league alive, guys. Just shout out. That's about everyone.
Yeah, I think you covered it pretty well over there. Well, well, thank you, Mr. Pico David, Mr. Playboy Farty, for coming in, chatting with us.
Yep.
Once again, congrats on the dub here tonight.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Well, since
Well, there you have it, folks.
we mentioned the standings there with Playboy, might as well take a look at them before we hop off the air tonight. But yeah, as mentioned, Ian Big Dogs, those 4 points, excuse me, take him up into fifth or fourth, above Los Verdes, who are now down into fifth. Interesting play out for the championship for next week. 2 points separating Steel Army and Black and Gold Old Timers. I suspect you know something about this, Debit.
Uh, yeah. So, yeah, with Steel Army finally being dethroned over here, looking pretty primed for Black and Gold Old Timers to, take the league over here. So, yeah, just all on them to, finish out strong against Defiance. But I'm almost really looking at that Big Dog series for Steel Army and EM Big Dogs just for the primary reason of they beat Steel Army. They're the only other loss that they have. So it's more like, will Steel Army get the run back that they want? Or is this EM Big Dog somehow going to be like a random kryptonite to them? How is this going to sort of play out? Because I think if calculations are correct, if they get 2 points against Steel Army, they're shutting out Los Verdes for that fourth place spot. At least what I'm guessing based on that game percentage over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that math works out pretty well. I think we can actually look at, if I've done this right, the match day 10 schedule. So, unfortunately, This is I made the overlay, of course, and I did not take into account that we'd have things offset. So we're in the middle of match day 10 for the Premier Division, but match day 10 for the championship is next week. So we're looking at EC Defiance and Black and Gold Old Timers. So a little bit harder game for Black and Gold compared to Steel Army going into next week. Again, it's only a 2 point difference. I know that you're not going to have an unbiased opinion about what might happen in the race for the championship title, but what are your thoughts?
So if I had to give complete honest thoughts, this is Black and Gold Old Timers basically championship to lose at this point. They got the result that they need against Steel Army. And for Steel Army, they can only really hope that EC Defiance pull off what they did last time, but finish out game three and get the sweep. Because if they end up getting 3 points out of this, Black and Gold, if Black and Gold would get 2 points out of that matchup minimum, they are champions, no matter what over here. I'm pretty sure even with the series win, they have the game percentage winnage or game percentage tiebreaker on Steel Army over here. Uh, and for Steel Army, for EM Big Dogs, they just gotta go out and get the points. But yeah, I think after watching that last time, whenever I think I was in bed on my phone, and I was watching like, oh my gosh, EC Defiance are up 2-0. Is this possible? Are B&G about to go down? So now it's like maybe history can repeat itself a little bit in some ways. That's what uh that's what the hope is. And honestly, I think for content purposes, that would be insanely incredible. But I think the way Black and Gold are playing right now, they probably end up taking that one 3-1, maybe drop one over there. But yeah, if I had to give that assessment of what I think is going to happen, I think that's what's going to happen over there.
Well, from an outsider's point of view, I'm going to put it out to the four teams. If y'all can get that scheduled on the same night and have the Steel Army game first and then the Black and Gold game for maximum cinema, then I think everyone will enjoy watching that night in the race for the championship title. With
Yeah,
that, oh,
how's everybody's Thursday looking next week? I think that was our favorite day to play SGL or something like that. So let's throw it out there.
Thursday night soccer coming live. Um,
Exactly.
with that, if you've got any final thoughts here, Debit.
No, I think we're good to pass it off. I think we covered everything over here. We got the matchup in. Just wanted to thank everybody that popped into chat over here. Definitely saw Arglass typing a lot. Saw Devin at one point, Mr. Playboy Farty during the game himself, and then Caesar coming in late. Good to see you all over here putting in the chats, giving us a little bit of entertainment as we go along over here, and even Birdnana popping in here. Ooh. Um, and asking if next week is a cup match for a championship.
That's always a
Yes,
good
it
question.
is.
So we do have some delayed gratification for this one then.
Yeah, tragically, there will be a little bit of a delayed gratification there. So it's like who gets to figure out who goes to the final in the cup, and then it's like, all right, week 10 shenanigans.
So
2 weeks makes it easier to schedule. Exactly. So just clear. Let's just start clearing out days already.
uh,
And it kind of works out. East and Central, and then you go to West Coast. It can work out.
oh, for sure. Yeah, play the early game on the East Coast and the late game on the West Coast. We're all set.
Exactly.
So,
I think we got it covered. But yeah, just continuing on. Just wanted to thank everybody for popping a chat tonight. Uh, really enjoyed seeing your presence over here, getting to watch this matchup over here. Yeah, we just got one more over the premiere to do with. So whenever we get that scheduled, we'll be make sure to broadcast that whichever way we can. And for Doughboy and I, we will see you all in the next one. Peace.